Hey everyone, I'm Denny Directo. It's Thursday, which means we are live today for the Daily Denny. And I got a special preview today for you of a tiny movie that's opening this weekend. I don't know if you've heard of it. Avengers Infinity War. Admittedly, I am no Marvel expert and I haven't seen the movie, but I brought in two people who have to help us break down everything you need to know before it hits theaters. Please welcome to the Daily Denny, Ash Crossan and John Boone.
Team Cap.
That's right, Team Cap. Are you Team Iron Man?
Maybe like Thor?
Okay, you know what? You got the Captain, you got the Chris Evans beard going on right now.
And by the way,
very nice of you.
Yeah.
Not quite,
Yeah.
but very, very nice of you. I'll take that all day.
and while we have seen it, no spoilers here.
Yeah, guys, no
It's not happening.
spoilers.
Yeah. And don't look for spoilers.
I know, right?
It's best if you just go in unspoiled. There are some big surprises.
Absolutely. We see you guys on the internet. We see you with the spoilers. Like, just enjoy
There's been
it.
troll posts like crazy.
Right, exactly. I haven't seen it yet, so I have a lot of questions for these guys. I bet you do too. So just leave them in the comment section. I said comics, get it? Like, it's like Marvel.
It's like a thing.
Yeah,
It's like the thing the thing is
comics
based
the thing.
off of. It's like the thing.
Meta! Okay, guys, leave your comments and questions in the comment section below. We'll get into this iPad. But first, you know, as you guys know, Marvel and the Marvel Universe and Avengers is shrouded in secrecy. In fact, the cast didn't even see it until the world premiere this week. Here's what we do know. Roughly more than 60 or so Marvel, 60-ish Marvel characters are in this movie, in this epic crossover, right? I mean, that's fair to say.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say.
I think it's like 60 characters. If you're talking heroes, the ones you know and love.
The ones getting the big paychecks.
It's a smaller number than that. But
they can't afford them all, you know? They
Yeah.
can't afford them all. But yes, of course, they're all in this movie, though, which is super epic. It hasn't been done yet. And, you know, they're also facing off Josh Brolin as Thanos, which I'm hearing is touted as, like, one of the most dangerous Marvel villains ever, yeah?
Yeah, he is.
He's big, he's bad, he's purple.
Yeah, and everything that has happened in previous Marvel films, not everything, but a lot of the major battles, especially in the Avengers, these were all coordinated by Thanos.
Right,
and he kind of gets to a point where he's like, all right, you guys aren't doing my dirty work for you. I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to get these Infinity Stones, and I'm going to
He literally got
over.
to that point at the end of Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 years worth of Marvel films have been like leading up to this one, right?
Yeah.
So
Very, very much so.
obviously 10 years, this is the 19th Marvel movie. A lot has happened before the Infinity War, so catch us up, Ash. Like, where do we pick up? I mean, can you give us a little rundown of like where we find the characters?
That's the thing
Hulkian
is like, I
task.
think, you know, years back you could kind of be like, okay, like what does the casual fan need to know? Or somebody that's never seen a Marvel movie, like what do they need to know before this? And that, I think for the first time, like that really doesn't exist with this movie. Like you really have to have been watching them.
And been invested.
Yeah, and that's not to say you can't get invested in it now and go do a massive rewatch, but I don't think it's for the casual fan at this point. It's really 10 years in the making.
My review is going up on ET Online, and I admitted in it, at this point, I don't have any gauge of how these movies played as someone who doesn't know the canon. Because it's a lot of heavy lifting if you don't know what's happening. Sure, you can see it because there's like fun superheroes in cool costumes and
Right.
flashing lights and Chris Pratt, but
Well, then riddle me this, like for the casual fan who maybe has seen a handful or a few of the Marvel movies, which one should they watch now to catch up and kind of know going into Infinity War?
I would say the main one is Captain America Civil War. That is like really where we left off with the bulk of the Avengers. And then the movies kind of after that, you have Thor, Spider-Man Homecoming, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther. Those are ones that definitely add to the story a lot because I think it pretty much picks up after Thor Ragnarok. So while they are released in a certain order, it's not necessarily the chronological order. But I would say Civil War and then the movies that take place after that are pretty important. But Civil War, the most so, because that's where we kind of
And then if you go before that, I would say Guardians 1 is what kind of first establishes the mythology of Thanos. That's kind of that's also the first time Josh Brolin played him. So you get to figure out dibbles and dabbles of what his deal is. I also think that
Why he's so angry.
That's more in this one. You find out why he's.
But Guardians lends a lot to that too.
Yeah. And then obviously the first Avengers was when Loki was doing Thanos' bidding, and that's kind of really what kicked this all off.
Yeah.
So where do we leave off with Team Cap?
So yeah, that's the thing. If you've seen these movies maybe once or twice back when they were in theaters, I think that's the hardest thing to remember when you're watching Infinity War is you'll be like, wait, where was this person last? Like that was kind of the thing that was going through my head. So yeah, as far as at the end of Civil War, we have Team Cap kind of losing, getting locked up in the Raft, which is like a maximum security prison for enhanced people and enhanced heroes. And Cap breaks them out at the end. And then we have that, you know, Hawkeye goes home. Where's Hawkeye? We've got Ant-Man, he goes home. We've got Sam Wilson, Falcon, he stays with Cap. And then Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, stays with Cap as well. But then Rhodey, of course, was paralyzed towards the end of Civil War because he was shot down by Vision, who was trying to shoot Falcon. But Steve Rogers kind of chooses Bucky over Iron Man and kind of takes him up and is walking away with him, this really dramatic moment of Iron Man shouting at him and saying, you know, that shield does not belong to you. That belonged to my father.
He made it.
He made it. He drops the shield. And that was kind of a moment that I had to remember, being like, wait, why doesn't Cap have his shield? Oh, yeah, because he dropped it because Iron Man was dramatically screaming at him. And then we see in that mid-credit scene, I believe it's the mid-credit scene in Civil War, where Captain America actually takes Bucky to Wakanda, where he kind of goes under and
cryogenically freezes him.
And Shuri's kind of working on him to see kind of what's going on with him, because he has all those trigger memories from Hydra.
And Wakanda's the safe ground, right, for all of the Avengers, really, right?
Supposedly. I mean, it was previously unknowable, unknown, and so now, then to Black Panther, it's technically open to the world. You'll find out a little more of how open. And
Okay.
Yeah, and then of course you have Scarlet Witch and Vision, which this actually isn't revealed in Civil War. It was like a prelude comic that happens leading up to Infinity War, that they're together now, and they went to Europe and they're starting a life together.
That's right. We got a little taste of that in Civil War, right?
Yeah, we saw them like kind of flirting and cooking for each other or whatever. But and then so after Civil War you have Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm kind of not doing these in an exact order, but Spider-Man Homecoming is kind of where you see what happens with Tony Stark next. He is like leading the Avengers and kind of mentoring and figuring out who the new Avengers are going to be. And he's kind of taken Peter Parker under his wing, and towards the end he says, all right, you can join the Avengers, and Peter Parker turns it down because he thinks it's a test, and it wasn't. But what I loved about that moment is it does reveal that him and Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow, have reconciled. She's back in the picture. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is another one that kind of leads into Infinity War, because you have Peter Quill defeating the dad, you know, the Yondu sacrifice. Sorry for all these spoilers for the other movies.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen the movies, spoiler alert. No, this is a good recap. Come on.
Yeah,
you want to be there opening weekend.
But where we kind of leave off with them is they're just flying through space. But that is like an important note to remember where they were. And then you have Nebula, who was the villain, kind of crossed over to the other side and reconciled with her sister Gamora, and you know, they are both Thanos' children, and she has left to go kill Thanos. That was where we left off with her.
How you feeling, Denny?
How you
know
feeling?
What? I should be taking notes, so if you guys are watching, please jot
there
these
will
down.
be a quiz at the end.
There will be a quiz at the end of this.
I'm going to fail, as what's going to happen, but I'm entertained.
Yeah.
Wow. Marvel's fun, guys.
Marvel's fun. And then you have Doctor Strange, which was really an origin story of Doctor Strange. But it is important because we last saw him actually in Thor Ragnarok, where he's like kind of harnessing his powers. But
much better at his powers.
Oh, he's so great. He's so great in his little part in that. But that's actually I think very important rewatch that you'll see. But he is, you know, the holder and the protector of the Eye of Agamotto, which has, you know,
is that one of the Infinity Stones?
One of our Infinity Stones,
Infinity
the Time
Stones.
Stone.
Okay.
So Thanos is going to be going for
Going
that.
for that, for sure, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I mentioned Thor Ragnarok. You know, we end there with Thor kind of saving all the people of Asgard, and they're on their ship and on their way to Earth with Loki, with Heimdall, played by Idris Elba, with Valkyrie. And they have Bruce Banner, the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Which he, you know, you might forget, he was not involved in Civil War. You know, he was over in Sakaar, being the champion of Sakaar. So he doesn't pop up. I mean, you know, he wasn't in Civil War.
Right. He just wasn't.
He wasn't there. So that's kind of where
neither Hulk nor Thor.
Thor, yeah. So that's kind of what they were off doing.
So much of this movie, Infinity War, the excitement has been around, like, seeing the Avengers and the Guardians meet up. But you do forget how long it's been since some of these characters that have met have seen each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then,
Of course, a lot of people saw Black Panther, right?
Right.
So that's the most recent Marvel movie. How much of that does that play into Infinity War, like that world?
I would say like the world of Wakanda is very important.
You just have to see Black Panther before this, because this can't be the first time you go to Wakanda. This can't be the first time you meet Shuri and Okoye.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Not that it's bad by any means, but it doesn't quite do them justice. Go in knowing them, go in knowing that world. And
Yeah.
it just makes it all the better. I mean, without spoiling really anything, there's one part in the movie where you just hear the faintest drums of Wakanda, and my audience went
They got
crazy.
They
Yeah.
went crazy about it. Yeah.
Crazy.
There are a few of those moments for sure. And then there's the mid-credit or post-credit. I always mix them up and don't know which one. But it kind of reveals what happens to Bucky after he was taken to Wakanda.
Okay.
And he's, waking back up the White
And
Wolf.
he's the White Wolf.
He's the White Wolf.
I love that. That's a really good recap. If you guys are just joining us, wow, I'm sorry. You're going to have to rewind once this live is over, but Ash and John just took us through a recap of all the Marvel movies you should probably watch before Infinity War.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
You do get to. They do kind of cover a lot of this in the movie, and they try to make it cheeky and fun.
Right.
There are some exposition dumps to catch you up, but
yeah.
But the more you know,
Sure.
the easier it
Yeah,
is to follow.
I think for me, like the most important thing to remember when I went into it was just remembering kind of where everybody was, because that's something where you're just like, oh yeah, why is he with them? Oh yeah, that happened in this movie.
Right,
that
right,
was
right.
like, at this point a few years ago.
Yeah.
If you did miss it, though, you can go to etonline.com to read John Boone's article, because he does give you a nice little recap there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the villain a little bit more.
Thanos.
Thanos. I mean, he's scary looking.
The big bad. I mean,
that
it's
guy.
just,
He's-
it's just the villain that we've been building up to for so long, and he's finally.
And he looks so much better now than he did at the end of Avengers.
Yeah. And,
How so? Like,
Oh, just the CGI. The CGI at the
got
end of
it.
Avengers, he like turns around and it's this huge grin and he looks insane.
stepped
But now
it
he
up.
looks good. He looks really good, especially in close up in this. You can like see Josh Brolin.
Yeah. No, there are parts like, you can
because
definitely
it's
tell
motion
it's
capture,
him.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but it is just, it works so well. I don't know.
And part of having seen all those past movies and knowing all these characters is Thanos' connection to everyone, because that has been established a lot throughout. He's killed a lot of people that these people know.
Right.
He's the father of two of them.
I know, right.
He's dealt with people's brothers. He's got his fingers in a lot of things.
Yeah, the stakes are so high, so
Right.
the payoff is, when you watch this movie, is higher.
And like you mentioned, it's been building up to this, and there's only one person that could go up against these many superheroes, right?
Yeah.
And it's this guy.
And it's this
Thanos.
guy,
I
yeah.
love that. So
Kevin Feige, who is the head of Marvel Studios, actually said that what he kind of implied was there was discussion about doing Thanos earlier in another Avengers, of doing him in a Guardians, and there just wasn't enough heroes. They didn't
Right.
have enough heroes to take him on,
take him
so they're
on.
finally getting to a point with these billion of people in this movie,
Yeah.
maybe have a chance.
totally. So the main plot, though, the storyline, the through line, I should say, is that Thanos is in search for these Infinity Stones.
Yes.
You have information on what
Yeah,
those
yeah,
stones
yeah.
are, right?
Yeah, and I will say before you get started, it's really awesome to see them in action. Like,
Oh yeah, yes.
Oh, all
yes,
of them?
yes,
Yeah,
yes. You
'cause
kind
it
of
is
get
something-
moments of seeing what each one of them does, if
Yeah.
you don't happen to know.
Yeah.
Okay, epic.
But yeah, the directors, the Russo brothers, have said they wanted to keep the plot of this movie very simple, kind of a heist movie, so that all these people and all these characters can kind of just come around it. And so the main thrust of the movie is Thanos and his minions, who are pretty dope, going around and collecting these 6 stones. And the 6 stones are, there's the green stone, which is the time stone.
And that's with Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so that's in the little eye. The last we saw it, he's just wearing it.
He's just
now.
wearing it because
the end of Doctor Strange, they were like, "Don't wear it."
He hangs
but
it up. He says he can't handle the responsibility, and then we see him in Thor, and he's just wearing,
wearing
it.
it.
So I
It's
guess
just his
So I guess he
regular.
has it.
It's just his regular bling. Now.
Sure, I love that.
Then there's the purple one, too, which is the Power Stone. That was the one that played into Guardians 1, where they did the dance off, all held hands, things turned purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is with Nova Corps, who is Glenn Close's little organization in the
Yeah, I
first
remember they were kind of like the
First one.
cops and Guardians.
Yeah, like space cops.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Okay. Space cops.
Then there's the Reality Stone, which is the red stone. That's from Thor 2: The Dark World. That's the one.
Everyone's favorite.
That's the one where Natalie Portman finds it just like a floating red liquid in a warehouse and just is like, I'm gonna touch it.
I have so many questions about like the way that they decide to protect these Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I could go get them myself if I wanted.
That one was questionable at best. But at the end of that movie, they left it with the Collector, who is Benicio del Toro's character,
Got it, okay.
with his like white eyebrows and
Yeah.
eccentricities. Then there's the blue one. That's the Space Stone. That's kind of been the one that's been kicking around the most. The Tesseract from the original
the
Captain
box.
America, from the original Avengers. Last we saw of that was in Odin's vault in Thor Ragnarok. And maybe or maybe not, Loki has it now. He spotted it, and
Okay.
we won't say much more.
Okay.
Then
Told you
there's
spoiler free here. Okay.
We are
two more.
spoiler
We got two more. We're in the
more.
home
Yeah,
run.
yeah, yeah.
Home run.
Home run.
There's the yellow one.
Right.
Mind Stone. That's Envision's
Envision.
forehead.
Envision.
Right.
Yes.
I know that.
So he essentially is a living Infinity Stone, which is not looking good for him.
So
Yeah.
to protect him at all costs.
Yeah.
kind of
So yeah,
situation.
because
Yeah,
if
so he
Thanos
has
gets
to-
that, there's no vision.
Right.
And then there's the Soul Stone, which is an orange stone, which there are a gajillion fan theories about where it is.
Yeah, nobody knows.
But we don't know.
Okay.
Nobody knows where the soul stone is.
Okay. So the goal: protect the stones, keep them away from Thanos.
Yes.
Okay, love that. All right, guys, so obviously the stakes are high in this one. I think a big question that a lot of people will have before they watch it is what does the future hold? Not just for the Avengers in the film, but also for Marvel, too. Where's this going?
Well, we know the next three movies, and then the next three are Ant-Man and the Wasp in July.
Yeah.
Then Captain Marvel next year, which is Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, right.
And then Avengers 4, which doesn't have a title yet.
So we know there's going to be another Avengers
Yes.
movie.
Yeah, I think my question is like, what is happening after Avengers 4? Like that is so like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley and I will have much more speculation
Yeah.
over
Well, you know-
what will happen in Avengers 4, but after you see it.
Of
after you
course.
see
Well,
it.
one thing is certain, though, like this cast has spent the last decade in various films together, and they have clearly bonded. In fact, we were on the set of Infinity War with Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson, where they talked about how they've literally grown up together. Like a lot of the characters, the actors are having kids now. So they talk about the bond and also what the future holds for them and how excited they are for future Avengers films. Take a look.
It's been great. I mean, it's so nice just to kind of watch the evolution, independent of the movies, just the friendships that you get to form, watching them grow and evolve, and seeing people you've known for a long time become parents. And kind of just, morph into their adulthood is really a beautiful thing.
Because this has been, nearly a decade, this process, this franchise.
Yeah.
So you guys really have become close, become a family in a way, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for even the next Infinity War. This thing really does go on forever. I'm just kidding. It's like an infinity. But
Decades and decades. So we're still here.
We're still here. Still in these suits. No. But we even get to. It will even be like I think more of an opportunity for as all these pieces come together. We'll really have an opportunity to work. All as kind of a united.
We're never going to get anything done.
I know.
It's going to be our first AD is going to pull his hair out.
No, you guys are pros. I don't believe that at all.
Joss Whedon, you see it so mad at us. He was like,
With us.
you're in the workplace. We were all just like,
Pull it together, people.
How many more of these movies do they have in them?
That Chris Evans beard really is the star of the movie.
Oh, it's
It's glorious.
divine.
I mean, twins, really. Look at this.
That's the seventh Infinity Stone, Chris Evans' beard.
I love that. All right, guys. So I want to get, since you both have seen the movie, and in fact, we were actually getting some comments, and Edward from Facebook says, this movie is going to be lit on so many levels. Would you agree with that?
It's
Yeah.
lit on a level you're really not even expecting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think I was going into it kind of being like, I just want to know what happens. And
Yeah.
that's the attitude I went into it with. Like, and it is like, it's very epic and like unexpected and
Right.
surprising and all these emotions. But I can't wait to see it again from the perspective of knowing what happens and like
Right.
being
It
able to
is-
really soak it in.
Like, mind-blowing is like a hyperbole, but you do feel like your brain like short-circuited by the end.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
like,
And it's what? It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Did you feel like that was long, or did you feel like you wanted more?
Not that I wanted more, but it's
bouncing around so much throughout the whole movie that like there's always something happening. You're in an action scene within the first minutes of the movie, and that does not stop till the end.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say, like, from a character perspective, which is like always my favorite part of a movie, this movie has some of the best character interactions in any Marvel movie.
And it makes so much time for them. That's why it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, because they give these characters room to just like joke around with each other, to bicker with each other. And that is the best part of the movie.
So those moments in between the action are just as entertaining. I mean, that's what Marvel's so good at, right? Oh, I love that.
Because I was worried about that. I was like, well, there's so many characters. They're fighting Thanos. Like, how much time are they really going to have to interact and build a story? And there is time for that. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to get to Ashley's question from YouTube. She says,
not me.
I know, great name. How awesome was the movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, God.
I don't know yet. I have to see it again, because right now I'm at an 8 and I feel like I could be at a 10.
I feel like in the middle you might be like, I'm like at an 8. After that ending, I think I'm a solid 10.
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed they pulled this off. Forever I will be amazed that this is a spectacle movie, heavy on the spectacle.
I love that.
And it is a feat.
Okay.
It is a feat.
Well, a lot of fans here are saying they're so excited to see it. I'm excited to see it.
Who is the hottest Avenger? Sorry. I just saw that comment come
Oh, wait, we got to answer this question real quick before we leave. Tara from Facebook, who is the hottest Avenger? I think I could probably chime in on this one.
Groot?
Groot. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I gotta say it's hands down between
Thor,
Evans, and
Captain
Hemsworth.
America. Okay. And
I would go Evans.
Okay, we're going to act like
'cause the
T'Challa
dude.
doesn't exist. I see what we're doing here.
Oh my God. You know, we're going to let you guys figure that one out. Let us know in the comment section
Okoye?
who you think is the hottest Avenger. Okay. I could be down with that one for sure, actually. I'm so excited to see this movie. Are you guys going to see it tonight? I want to know. We're wrapping things up, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
for having us.
For your Avengers fix, you guys, make sure you head over to etonline.com. We have plenty of content there, including John's preview. And also, we have full interviews with the entire cast from various interviews ET has done over on our YouTube channel, so check those out as well. Thank you guys again for joining us.
Thanks for having
Enjoy
us.
Avengers Infinity War, and I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Daily Denny. All right, you guys. See ya.